All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo, episode 14.
All right, well, Villefort,
You brought a gun.
you escalated things.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, but you brought a gun to a vampire fight, so...
Yeah. I guess you really just thought that the law was entirely in your hands. And then you got duped by the power of information, blackmail, and preparation.
Indeed.
Sorry,
you done goofed.
You've been prepping for a couple weeks, and he's been prepping for 13 years.
Yeah.
So,
Good luck.
Good luck.
But Albert
Might have
saved the Count.
Both of your lives.
Well, right.
Saved the Count.
Yeah. But it didn't look like he would have gotten hit by it, but it's possible that he did, and if so, that would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
I would be astonished if the show killed Albert right here.
I mean, it could also just be the threat of his death, you know? Like, then that's excellent reasoning for the Count to be able to really turn the families against each other, you know? Like...
Well, I mean, the families are already just about at each other's throats. It's just the safety and, I would say, the individual security that they're all thinking about is, okay, I'll take care of me and mine, and you take care of yours and whatever. And
right, they're not antagonistic, they're just pulling away from each other.
They're pulling away, giving each other space.
But might change.
This might change that.
Yeah.
Especially if Morcerf is
in war
worried.
mode?
Well, yes, but worried about his stance politically and long term. He'll use anything. He'll use anything to get a leg up.
Oh, my son was tragically shot. Thankfully, he survived. It's a miracle, but...
Yes. I will continue my mission to unite
right.
the system, you know.
Yep. Though I worry for his safety and everything, I will continue on.
The attempt on my family has left me scarred and traumatized. But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger.
Oh, boy. But yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get into this.
なぜだおいどうしてこんなことになってる私はいつも完璧だったろうアルベールお前がいけないんだお前が伯爵なんぞをパリへ連れてきたからだ
I mean, he's not wrong.
いい気になるなよ次はお前だお前の家にも最悪が降りか
Wow, it already has.
いい加減にしろ今日はもう帰りたまえまたお会いしましょうあ本当に大丈夫
Huh.
Oh my god.
Wait.
やべえぜおいアリ
Okay.
Oh my god. Did you see all the
Yeah.
stuff going on? Whoa. Oh. Whoa.
Wait. Oh, so he did get shot.
Yeah.
相変わらず見事な腕だな
ずっと入ってるけどなんかあった
I nearly died.
シミリアンが来てるわ
You know. Oh, Maximilian, yeah.
元気そうじゃないか
お久しぶりです
どうしたんだよ急に
ノアルティエさんを迎えに来たんですバランティーヌのそばにい
Wow.
てくれた方がいいと思ってあなたにはどうしても会ってお礼を言いたかったんですいろいろとお世話になりましたありがとうあなたがいてくれたから僕は大事な人たちを救うことができたんです
I owe you a debt.
それだけは
Yeah.
忘れないでください
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's gonna come into play later.
Yeah.
君と出会えてよかった
Oh, with this track in the background.
Yeah, that was
バランティ
great.
ーヌを大切にな
はいいやーおかげさまで株価は連日ストップ高でして
勝手にいろんな話を舞い込んでくるんですよ別に望みもしないのに
羨ましいですな
数値の上がり下がりに一喜一憂するのも人生の浪費です囚人監視での逮捕劇驚きましたね
世の中何が起こるかわからんもんですな
モルセール将軍そしてこのビルフォール判事は古い友人同士で お互いの力を利用しながら権力を拡大していった。
それはひがみの入ったデマでしょう。
Yes, of course.
だったらいいんです。ただ人は思わぬところで
Oh, Cavalcanti.
Yeah.
私はお嬢様のことは本気で考えているのですよ。できるだけ早くいいお返事をいただきたいものです。
Going from veiled threats to...
I mean, that wasn't a veiled threat.
Well,
really.
sure, more like a
Warning.
stern warning.
Yeah, yeah. But he's already giving him, like, financial advice, which is probably a bigger deal to him than...
Yeah, that's true. So giving him advice on, like...
society stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
that...
The friends you keep and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a natural extension.
Sure. Hey!
Okay!
あんたが記者さんかい。
Spike
い
Spiegel.
やあんた運がいいよ。一面をあんたのスクープ記事で飾
Oh
るんだ
no. Yep,
Yeah.
here it is.
Uh-huh.
お宅の会社大スクープにいくら払える。忙しいのでこれで。
Yeah, the walk away.
モルセール将軍のでっかいスキャ
Oh shit, this guy's dead.
Uh-huh.
いや悪いな。
どうしたんだ突然。
Oh.
今度モルセール候補の特集があってな、個人的なコネを使わない手はないと思ってちょっと話
This might not be a friendly visit.
誠実さかな。
Wow.
母を深く愛するように国を愛し悩んでる。
Oh, but
知っ
he's...
てるだろう。その活躍をきっかけに階級を駆け上がり若くして将軍の座まで上り詰めた。
今の時期敵も多くなる。君も気をつけろよ。
何かあったのか。
確かカドルスとかいう
何を。
ん
その男はお前に何を言ってた。
Yes. And that guitar
シー
coming
ネジャ
in.
ニナでの活躍に偽りありって言うんだけどな。
火の使用をおやめください。この場所は禁煙となっております。喫煙は所定の場所でお願いします。
まさか。
どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
まさかな。
さて、カバルカンティ公、この度ダングラール銀行への大口投資を発表されましたが、ダングラ
Is
ー
he
ル
gonna
大
announce
国の
his
ご霊のお付き合いも
official engagement?
されていますが
Yeah.
本当ですか？実はユージェニード・ダングラー
Yeah,
ルは今
yeah.
朝に婚約したんです。
わあ、嘘みたい。本当ですか？
Damn.
それはおめでとうございます。
Big news!
嘘だろ。
バカいるって知ってたらもっとうまく弾けたわ。あなたのために。
ええ、もちろん彼女も喜んでくれる。
What is out there?
What are you going to do?
do?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
ください。
お嬢様はお話ししたくないと申されております。
直接会って彼女の気持ちが聞きたいんです。
Barred from the entrance.
Yep.
せめて僕が来ていることだけでも。
Eugenie doesn't pay these people.
Yeah, exactly. See, you know, in this world of fantasy, sci-fi stuff, we still don't have cell phones, though.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
何なのこれは。
It's the classic. It's the classic. What if we had cell phones?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
言ったろう。私はお前の幸せを一番に考えている。
Also, he paid me fat stacks.
Yep.
お前はまだ若い。物事を自分で決めるには早すぎる。
本気で言ってるのお父様。
もちろんだ。夕食にはカバルカンティー
She's
公を
making her own
招待してやる。
decision.
遅れるんじゃないぞ。
Okay.
アルベールなら外出中よ。どこへ？そう。
Out demonstrating and stuff. At least they might have been supporting him. Not sure. They had his picture. And they can have a, yes! Okay.
Ah, Franz.
Yes.
Nice.
It's cool. Threw an almond at him. Come sit. Yeah.
言ってそんなに強く当ててないだろ。この野郎。やったな。
カバルカンティと婚約したんだってな。 ユージェニーの意思じゃないさ。何か事情があるんだ。ユージェニーが本気であんな奴と婚約するわけないだろ。
何が
You don't know anyone? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
俺には分からなくなってきたよ。
アルベール。
フランツ、俺は俺だよな。どんなことが起こっても俺はなあ、フランツ教えてくれ。俺は変わらないよな。何があったとしても俺は
死は確実、時は不確実なりか。不吉な言葉だ。アルベール、俺は真実を知りたいと思う。たとえそのせいで俺で亡くなってしまっても。
そうだな。こんな時は旅にでも行くのが一番だ。
ごめん、お前とは一緒には行けないんだ。
なんでだよ。どういうことだよ。
I'm investigating dangerous shit, but I can't tell you.
お前もか。そうだよな。みんな大人になったんだ。
Yep.
The Count is the only one I can count on.
Well, I'm sure he's not even that certain about it.
Oh, sure.
The Count told him to go home after all that, you know? That's it.
お体は大丈夫だったんですね。
ええ、何も変わりありません。どうかされたんですか。傘もささずに。
Yeah, he picks up Albert
ちょっと
quickly
濡れるのもたまにはいいかなと思って。
なるほど。
I wouldn't be surprised if the watch was like a spy device.
どうですか。
Sure.
You know, that way he could make sure to coordinate things.
Yeah.
今日はやめときます。
それではいずれまた別の機会に。
That was cool. That was cool.
Window.
Yeah.
Shutting there.
そんな顔のあなたを置いていくわけにはいきません。さあ、一緒に行きましょう。
Nice.
お帰りなさい。
そうなの。
Why would she believe anything he says?
お祝いの
then?
花が途切れることなく届いていましたよ。
Oh, wait.
どうしてこんなことばかり。
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
一体なぜなんでしょうか。伯爵、僕は怖いんです。
あなたは限界を超えて突き進む覚悟がおありですか。何者にも負けない強い意志をお持ちならば私が断言します。あなたは大丈夫。
伯爵。
The purple hue.
Oh, they actually are.
名人も多数応援に駆けつけて、城内はもうすでに大変な熱気に包まれています。
モルセール将軍、お時間です。壇上へお願いします。
Oh boy.
You can hear his name being chanted.
Oh boy.
Oh shit!
All right.
Oh shit! Oh
Hell yeah!
Oh my god!
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah, that was very cool. So everyone is abandoning Albert from his perspective.
Yep.
And thus he is going to end up isolated and even more useful as a tool for
the Count.
But specifically to get his
revenge.
Blade inside.
Yeah. But Vilfort is officially done.
Well,
I think.
Yes, but that's the thing. You can never be too certain because they've adjusted things somewhat from the original story. And he's probably wealthy. It's going to be a thing of where it could pull him back out. Like he could possibly find a way out of prison.
But they don't have to is the thing.
In a lot of ways this is perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of well timed within the show as well to have one of the three be taken out.
Exactly. This is the tricky thing about having this in an anime kind of setup is that if you have too many characters involved kind of in the same kind of conflict, you can end up jumbling up basically not being able to manage them properly.
Right. Things can slow down because you need to tell all the different characters' stories.
Yeah, exactly.
And given that we've sort of been focusing on Vilfort up till now, it kind of makes sense that he would run his course, and now we can move on to like Danglars and Morcerf.
I think that Villefort's story in general was one that, was the simplest, and he's also the one, I believe, that gets revenge taken on him first in the book as well, because of the stuff that went down with his household spilling out.
Yeah.
But that's a nice simple way to have revenge. But I don't remember the exact details of Villefort's revenge, because it was also, I'd say, the least remarkable in the books.
I think it was just like mental breakdown,
So this might be perfectly suited for that, because he did mentally break down. He completely lost touch and sight with reality, came to the Count with a gun with the intent to kill.
Yep.
In some ways, not even necessarily what the Count planned, it seemed, because he didn't want Albert to be there.
Nope.
He was very scared, not that, Villefort was going to kill him,
but that
Villefort was going to kill Albert. And if you think about it from the warm and cold angle, that's someone that he does care about.
Yeah.
Because it's the child he could have had with Mercedes in some ways.
Sure.
But also, Albert's a very valuable tool, and he's been working him a long time now, so can't throw him away.
The Count has been playing his revenge like a very fine instrument, and you don't want a fine instrument to get dinged up, because then it can throw everything off, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And while the Count is very good at sort of, improvising and whatnot, this was the most shaken I feel like we've seen the Count in a while, maybe since he met Mercedes.
Well, definitely since he met Mercedes, but maybe also when his Gankutsuou power thing just went a bit wonky.
Yeah, anytime that's like he's in the post that state.
That was at the estate,
right,
when they were doing the whole test and things like that.
Yeah, the whole game.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I like that the way that went. That was excellent. The idea of Albert saving the Count and then the Count saving him. There's something poetic about that.
Yep.
Almost romantic even, right? And so if that's kind of foreshadowing or like laying the foundation of their dynamic in like moving forward, then that would be great. Because one of the things that, with any kind of revenge story, it's do you let the revenge truly consume you?
Sure.
Right? And in this situation here, especially with the Count being a vampire and all of that, that's something that would be very fitting, right? But there is the possibility, maybe, that, he'll realize there's more to life than just that. But
yeah, so
who knows?
Albert as a character, though, has been one that's been tossed aside a bit and batted about by the waves of all this chaos and stuff. And now he's truly lost.
Yep.
He has finally hit that point where he doesn't believe he has anyone. And for a moment there, he didn't even really believe that he could trust the Count. But the Count was the one that stayed. The Count was the one that decided to seek him out. And this is going to be a big deal, because what the Count has wanted really was to isolate Albert and get him to where he would be, compliant and willing to do whatever he asked. We see now that because of what went on with Catarus, that there is something building and coming for Morcerf. We have Haydee at the end of the episode having her powerful moment where the words of Cavalcanti maybe did, ring true a little bit in her. And just hearing the fact that Morcerf is about to have his big triumphant speech of, look at me, I'm now maybe leading in the polls, and I'm there's no one who, deserves this presidency more than me. And she's just like, you thought. I cannot wait for that, because the terrifying thing about this is that on some level, she might not make it through this.
Yeah, she could very easily be putting herself into she will be putting herself into a lot of danger by doing this.
And the Count might not protect her. This is the part where things get dicey, is that if she does what I think she's about to do, she is more being a civil disruption of sorts.
Yeah.
And she needs to have some kind of immediate, quick way to disseminate the proof of her accusations that are coming.
Yep.
Without letting her disappear in a back alley somewhere.
Right. Oh, she suicided, yeah.
Oh, who knows? She was drunk and she fell off into a bridge of,
right.
Big channel of water.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So tragic. Terribly sad.
So horrible. Yeah. This is basically the point where we can have the dark side of this politician in particular get tested.
Right.
And
I loved the whole bit though where Albert is getting interviewed, right? And I love that he doesn't even think about the fact that only one question was asked of him.
Yep.
It's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to ask this one question, but that's the only question I asked when I said I wanted to talk to you about, a few things.
He basically asked for a character witness.
Right.
Which the reason why you ask for a character witness is if this person is on trial, essentially. So,
yeah.
Albert, this guy knows stuff about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that he might have told him the truth in that all he heard from Catarus was that.
He didn't let him, say much more than that. He's like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah, but now that might not be true.
Well,
might not be. There might have been a lot more that was in between those two scenes.
Yes, and after that interaction, when he saw how Albert responded to the mentioning of the name, then suddenly he's like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to that guy.
I believe that he's telling the truth. The difference, though, is that if he gave him more than that, and it's the kind of thing of where he's like, cool. Yeah, wonderful. I don't need to tell Albert any of that. In fact, all he really needed to do was to tell him that there was something that, was maybe an aspect of his father being someone that deceives things. Now, I think that the war hero victory story that they're telling him about is something that's going to be directly fleshed out through Haydee's testimony that she seems to be ready to give. And that's why that was particularly chosen rather than something else that do with Danglars and Villefort and stuff that Catarus has a little bit more info on.
Right.
But the idea of one person being screwed over in Marseille is probably less scandalous than what Catarus actually knows.
Than, potential war crimes.
Potential war crimes,
yeah.
So I am really excited to see Beauchamp get this extra scoop where it's if this is what you know here, anything else? Do you have any
right? It gives validity to it, and if suddenly Haydee making some crazy declaration or whatever, right? That might be able to be swept under the rug as some random person who just wants to sabotage me politically,
but
right?
Now Beauchamp hears about this, and that gives fuel to his fire.
And then both of those at the same time?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be at the same time.
Well, similar time.
No, I'm with you, but it's the sequence I think that's important. Is that I think if Haydee goes first, she's not going to be long for this world. Secondly, if it's too long after
people might have forgotten about it.
People might forget about it. But if it's a sequence of a week.
Right. Yeah.
Then,
just enough to spread around and create a little buzz, and then suddenly this story comes out. This big expose.
Extra details attached to it. And then maybe it's the thing of where it's like, oh, and I presume that based on my preliminary investigations that Haydee was murdered.
Sure. Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I have reason to believe that there are ties to the Morcerf, election organization or what have you.
Right.
Then, oh shit, even if it's not true, Beauchamp gets the story of his life. He has to go into like a security lockdown thing because he's making war against a military leader
for a while.
Yeah. And this is the part that things are really terrifying is this is something that I feel like is more terrifying because we're in the sci-fi side of things.
Oh, sure.
But in the ED specifically, there's mechs flying about Paris, and they have searchlights on.
Oh.
So there's a possibility that Morcerf mobilizes the military to take over.
Oh, that would be
and that could be some shit. Like that
would be pretty crazy. Because one of the things that I'm wondering about is like, you know, I don't remember a whole lot of, you know, stuff from the book, right? Like I remember some things, but big book. We've got, you know, what, 10 episodes left at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
24 episode show.
Right. So you know, we're getting along into it, right?
We got
but we've still got
40%.
We've still got 40% left, right? We're already seeing the signs of how Morcerf's foundation is starting to get eaten away.
Yeah, but it's still there's no proof. Which means
and you don't necessarily need proof in a lot of ways.
No, you don't. But that wouldn't destroy him. It would just make the poles shift around a bit.
Right.
That's the really gross thing about the political kind of race side of things is that people will throw all kinds of stuff out there that's not even remotely true.
And then the stuff that is true can get swept under the rug.
Or no, it doesn't get swept under the rug. It just gets mixed in with all the other stuff.
Right, and then you don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's no apparent credibility to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's really tough in that regard. So I'm really excited for Beauchamp to be like going in on this and not having it be just a reactionary, just quick little thing.
Yep.
And that's why I think Hadee's in trouble. Is that I think they're leaning on probably the thing of where he's like, I'm sorry, Haydee, I can't save you, but I'm going to just hope that at the very least, you know, you're connected to the Count, so he might protect you.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the Count might relish the idea of Morcerf kind of coming after him to get to Haydee.
Oh, sure.
And being like, why?
Yeah, and going for a bite, you exposed your own throat. Kind of a thing.
Exactly. Same thing, kind of, that what happened with Villefort is the.
Yeah.
But you brought up something interesting, and I'd love to theorize on it. Do you have predictions on the order of operations with regards to vengeance and stuff?
So, I feel like Morcerf has to be last. Like, unless they go for the angle of Mercedes, because she is technically one of the four that he wants revenge on, right? But Danglars being last, like I don't know, like that doesn't quite feel right. What I could see happening, and maybe because Cavalcanti is kind of headlining a lot of the stuff against Danglars, you know, like the Count has kind of outsourced it a bit.
Yes,
maybe we could get something where Morcerf gets taken down a peg, right? Like it's something where he gets actually, like, you know, attacked, basically, right?
Yeah, but he's not beaten.
Right?
Right.
And then, while that's happening and things escalate and things like that, then we go into the Danglars situation, and that gets all sorts of complicated, and then maybe the Danglars gets taken out, however... Yeah, resolved, right?
Okay.
And then Morcerf and or Mercedes are kind of, like, at the end. But, like...
See, that's the thing that's fun here, is I have the book knowledge stuff about basically some of the ending stuff for most of the characters. But I could see them changing a couple things here.
Okay.
And the big one, I could see them changing a bit. Because the Danglars one... it's unique. So it kind of doesn't... It's not bound by the rules of sci-fi.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It's very yeah. So, but with Morcerf, I could see there being quite a few differences, because I believe, to keep it vague, his end is more pathetic.
Gotcha.
Well, no. They're both pretty pathetic.
I mean,
but
that's kind of how the Count wants it to be for all of them, right?
Right, but I think the difference is that personal versus impersonal.
Right. And the other thing that I'm curious about is that given the fact that Mercedes is still one of the four that the revenge is wanted against, and Albert is the main character, one of the sort of vibes that I've gotten from this show is that Albert will kind of realize how dangerous the Count is at the very end, right? Because it's not going to be too much before the end, because then the whole dynamic of the show would change, you know?
Dangerous
or
to
personally dangerous,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
because
if
if the Count is basically like, you know, doing his vampire thing to kind of like seduce Albert away from the family,
right?
And then Albert ends up being the weapon that he uses to get back at Mercedes, right? Where it's now I'm going to kill your son, or you know, or something like that, right? You know, while she watches, or I don't know, right? Some way to be like Albert really seems to be that angle of how he can get at Mercedes, right? So I would think that would be kind of where the end of the story would be, because Albert's the main character, so that feels like it would fit there.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure about the Danglars Morcerf thing.
Yeah. So, okay, that's some good theories and stuff, because I think that they're warranted based on the fact that Villefort might be done here.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side of things, the Eugenie, Cavalcanti, Albert, you know, Franz, just kind of the young people of this story, having this kind of change, I would say, primarily in the story, where, you know, Eugenie is maybe a bit kind of getting princessed into the tower kind of thing.
Definitely.
It's interesting, because I see what they're going for here, and I see how they could maybe bring this into the story so that Albert is being used as a weapon against, you know, Danglars, in addition to Cavalcanti. But I feel like they're more just setting it up for Cavalcanti to just have his big kind of revenge.
Like the Count has been letting Cavalcanti do pretty much whatever.
Well, we're right. I mean, he's giving Cavalcanti the info for sure. He's giving him
potentially
kind of
the money too.
Oh yeah, he's giving him everything.
Yeah,
like yeah. He's a bot tool basically. Because he's
the Count can't be in multiple places at once, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that whole thing there feels like you don't even really need the Count to step in,
right?
At all.
But yet, wouldn't the Count want to, you know, be a part of the experience? You know,
or at the very least, just have his own touch on the the final pieces and stuff. But Cavalcanti already has no, you just keep taking my advice, and I just eventually give you really bad all-in advice, which is hard, but it is very doable.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm really excited for this Morcerf stuff, because this feels very very new in terms of the waters that we're sailing, and I kind of want mech duels. You know?
I do too.
But I could see something different happening, where it's Morcerf gets so terrified of the Haydee stuff that he kills her. And then it's oh no, what if I'm discovered? Do I fight or fly, basically? And I could see Morcerf being the kind of person to fight. Well, and that would mean some stuff.
This is so little bit of book stuff, but I remember the way that Morcerf got resolved from what I could tell in the books. Now, I didn't finish the book, but it seemed like it was a final resolution of big space, you know, where there's lots of people watching, right? And Morcerf thinks everything's going well, and then Haydee comes in and tells her story, and Morcerf is done. Right. And they have people to like corroborate and things like that. It's very well structured and things like that, so that he can't escape from it. Right. Yeah. And then that's it. And given that Haydee did that like awesome like pose of like, all right, it's my time. You know, I've been actually waiting, you know, like just in this room, and now let's go. I feel like it's the time for that.
It could be the time for that.
But it's only episode 14. So this is too soon, right?
That's why I think that they're changing that part up, because they've made Albert the main character.
Right, exactly. Yes, because that was the other thing, is that, and granted, this is from what I've read in the books and things like that, in the book. No, it's just one book somehow. But was that there was a point where the Count almost killed Albert, and Mercedes confronted him and like, you know, please don't do this. You know, take your revenge on me, but not my son, right?
Yeah.
And then the two of them, Albert and Mercedes, kind of left the story. right?
Yeah, let's not go into details. There are
Right.
people that
Okay. Yeah. But like
haven't read
that
the
doesn't
books.
seem like the kind of thing that would be able to happen in this story because Albert's the main
Oh,
character.
it could totally happen.
Oh yeah, you think
Oh,
so?
It totally could happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's yeah. Yeah, I could totally see a version of that happening. Yeah. But okay. I'm wishing you all the best, Haydee. The fact though that they've timed this with the Count going to help Albert at this specific time and taking him
she's in danger.
away means that this is not going to be as structured. This is not
right.
going to be necessarily as perfectly planned out. And this might be a thing of where the Count's like, no, I've chosen my main tool.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Morcerf might just start using the military in a, whatever kind of crazy fashion. Who knows?
All he needs to do is just silence her.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that too. Right. But it's the we are going to make sure that whatever happens, we will be out of the proximity.
Right.
So,
yeah. But I'm really excited.
Yes.
Because that was such a grandiose just
just
like moment.
The visuals and aesthetic for this show are just amazing in general. So when it's a dramatic like moment for a character, even better. Yeah.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.